Hello there people, my name is Sho and welcome to an episode of Tings. While not all 100% of the games will be mentioned here, we do have the Summer Game Fest that happened this week, so let's go. First up, there's the LEGO Horizon Heroes Adventures. As the name implied, the LEGO themed Horizon game. I've never played any of the LEGO games in general, but if I were to try out any of them, this would definitely not be the first on the list, and I can tell you that with guarantee plus a shop with my signature on it. Regardless, to those who are interested, this game will be releasing on PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch and PC in the holiday season this year. Next, we have No More Room in Hell 2, basically your Left 4 Dead but slower paced. I remember this game because it was recommended by one of my tuition friends back in my teenage years, and that friend of mine was into No More Room in Hell and the mobile gacha Summoner War. I don't know what's the connection between these two games, but maybe the dopamine hit the same for him? Question mark? Anyways, this is the sequel to the first game, and we will get the early access in October month during the Halloween period, and the game will be available on PC via the Epic Games Store and Steam. Then we have Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Nobody cares, it will be not worth your time, and yes, I'm calling it right now. The last thing we need is another sports game from another IP. Hang Me Once, the game is released on September 3rd, 2024 on PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch and PC on both Epic Games Store and Steam. A better game worth your attention would be something like this game from 2-Star Games. It is called Cuff Bust, essentially a multiplayer, casual and fun experience where players will be escaping prison by all means made available. My favorite part is when he goes, "Open a gate!" Unfortunately, this game will only be released in 2025, but what you can do now is to wishlist the game on Steam. As far as indie game goes, Neva seemed like a potentially good one from Nomada Studio, published by Devolver Digital. An adventure platformer with some great sound effects and soundtracks as far as the teaser goes. Neva is expected to release this year on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, Nintendo Switch and PC. And it is now official, Sid Meier's Civilization 7 is scheduled to take away your sleeping time in year 2025. You can expect the game to release on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch and PC. For now, we can wait for the summer review for more details on Sid Meier's Civilization 7. Next, we have Black Myth Wukong, which is releasing on August 20th this year, with pre-order available right now for the PlayStation 5 and PC on both Epic and Steam. This time around, they showed off the physical edition, digital deluxe edition, and the collector's edition, which they are offering. I particularly find a Thunderstone ring pretty cool for the physical edition, but I would be disappointed if the ring could not fit my fingers. To those of you who are hyping up about this game called Once Human, an action survivor shooter developed by Starry Studio, apparently one that is owned by NetEase, let me just give you a word of caution to set your expectation right. While I don't think the game is bad, I also don't think the game is real good. Just note that, number one, this is a game from NetEase. They don't have the worst games, but also nothing exceptionally good at this moment. Maybe Naraka Blade Point, because I really think they nailed it with that game. Anyway, I digress. Number two, do you know that Once Human will also be released on mobile on both iOS and Google Play Store according to its official website? Exactly. And number three, the PC recommended specs on Steam is essentially specifications from almost 10 years ago. An i5-4460 as a minimum spec, which is a CPU released back in 2014, and the recommended GPU is a GTX 1060, which for context is released in 2016. All these signals are telling me that this game is not built with PC as the main focus, so don't get too absorbed by the marketings. Try out the demo yourself on Steam right now to see if the game is for you, all while we wait for the actual game release on July 9th this year. Moving on, Metaphor ReFantazio is Atlus's new IP, a turn-based RPG with quote-unquote a blend of real-time action, and I end quote, seemingly borrow some of the formula from the Persona and Shin Megami Tensei franchise. There are more than 40 types of archetypes available to make your adventure a unique one, and they all can evolve into better versions of themselves. Personally, I believe the story plays a big part of the experience that this game is offering, which will ultimately hook the player into the world. The story begins with the kingdom's king being assassinated, and the royal magic is triggered to establish an election, whereby this magic enables individuals of any social status to compete and become the next king by gaining people's support. If you have not watched the 25 minutes extremely well done and detailed showcase of this game about 1 month ago, be sure to do it with the link provided down below. Metaphor ReFantazio is coming to PlayStation, Xbox and PC on October 11, 2024, with pre-orders available now. Street Fighter 6 had announced their new line of characters that are coming for year 2 of the game. M. Bison will be coming this summer, followed by Terry in autumn, while Mai is coming during the winter of 2025, and finally ending with Elena, releasing in spring of 2025. Tears of Metal is an interesting one, a medieval hack-and-slash roguelike, with co-op made available as well. I'm wishlisting this on Steam because of the co-op option, and I think you should too. A new trailer here as well for the upcoming Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This is another fighting game from the Dragon Ball franchise that is releasing this year on October 11th, releasing on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, and PC on Steam, with Advanced Access or aka Early Access on October 8th, which is 3 days early to those who pre-purchased the game. Pre-ordering also gets you an early unlock of 6 characters. Then we have Delta Force Hawk Ops, a free-to-play multiplayer tactical first-person shooter that will have its global PC alpha test coming this July. And yes, there is a campaign mode. Also, Makeup Break looks cool. This is a game that focuses on the multiplayer experience. As far as I know, there was a 3 vs 3 and a 6 vs 6 mode available for testing during the closed beta tests. I believe what makes a mecha game good is the controls of it, so we will wait for more details to be released for Mecha Break at this moment. Deer and Boy is a cinematic platformer where literally a deer and a boy team up and overcome the obstacles they encounter together. To be completely honest, I'm sold to how good this looks, so definitely worth wishlisting. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is definitely a much anticipated sequel, a story-driven medieval action RPG that sets in the 15th century of Europe. The game is now listed on Steam for players to wishlist, and this game will also get a PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S release all in 2024. There is also this new game called Slitherhead by Bokeh Game Studio, a new studio led by ex-Sony Interactive Entertainment video game director, designer, and writer Keiichiro Toyama. This man is known for his contribution for games like the original Silent Hill, Siren on the PlayStation 2, and Gravity Rush. Definitely worth checking out, and Slitherhead is expected to release this year on November 8th for the PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, Xbox One, and PC on both Epic and Steam. And of course, we can't make an episode without Bean. This is Killer Bean. I genuinely don't know where to set my expectation level at, but it is mentioned that this game is made by one single developer. Insane, I know. There will be an early access coming this summer, so if there's any details on that, we will be sure to keep you updated. Also, I don't know if you guys seen this, but this bean has to be inspired by an emote called Dice of Cringe. Enotria, The Last Song, is a new entry to the Souls-like genre. There's a demo available now, and the game will be playable on PlayStation 5 and PC via Epic and Steam on September 19 this year. From the feedbacks that I've seen, this is not the best Souls-like experience at this very moment, so hopefully it can be refined and polished before its official release on September 19 this year. Then we have a new trailer for the upcoming free-to-play looter shooter, The First Descendant, that is coming next month on July 2nd. The game will be released on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, Xbox One, and PC on Steam. While this is not really a game news, the developer of Among Us, Inner Sloth, had launched a funding platform called the Outer Sloth to help indie game developers pushing their game. This is the way of Inner Sloth developers saying thank you to the fans who have supported their game. Oh, and did I mention that there will be an animated Among Us TV show? I don't know how this will turn out, but if you're interested, you can follow their socials for exactly that. And then there's this Sonic Generations game coming this year. This time it is Sonic X Shadow Generations. As you might have guessed, Shadow the Hedgehog is playable heel in this game. The game releasing this year on October 25th for the PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Now this is a new entry for the RTS genre. This time it is Battle Aces. Definitely reminds me of StarCraft, but I'm too old for this. However, if you're interested for the beta test that is happening soon, you can visit playbattleaces.com to sign up for the closed beta test. This new PlayStation exclusive definitely caught my attention. It is Phantom Blade Zero, developed by ASCII. This is an action fighting RPG that is yet to confirm on its release date, but it is surely the eye-catcher among the sea of game trailers out there. They have hands-on experience at a couple events worldwide, namely Summer Game Fest in LA that's happening now, China Joy in July at Shanghai, China, Gamescom in August at Germany, and Tokyo Game Show in September in Tokyo. So if you can make it to the events, definitely take the opportunity to try out the game. Another big trailer from this week's event will be Monster Hunter Wilds that is aimed to release in year 2025. The desert theme is really apparent for this entry, and Capcom is definitely trying to make the environments of this game much more dynamic and ever-changing. The monsters in these trailers are looking incredible, with some of them looks and sound real menacing. In the meantime, you can still enjoy Monster Hunter Worlds and Iceborne, all while knowing your playtime will not be totally wasted as we transition into Monster Hunter Wilds, because you do get the save data bonuses by playing them. In this case, it is the feline, armor sets, and weapons. Finally, Alan Wake 2 have its new DLC, Night Springs, that should be playable right now on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, and PC on the Epic Game Store. And that is the game news section for this week. Now don't be disappointed if the game you like is not mentioned in this episode. It will very likely be included in the next episode of Game Tings, or perhaps we are waiting for more details to be shared during the Gamescom 2024 event that is happening in August this year. Moving on to the game releases of this week, Destiny 2, the Final Shape DLC is out this week. Everyone is crazy over the day one raid, trying to figure out the new mechanics, puzzles, and patterns, just like every new DLC releases. The Final Shape is now available on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, Xbox One, and PC. Next, we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game. If it wasn't obvious enough, yes, this was previously a film made in 1988, now turned into a game. This game has its own take on the multiplayer survival horror genre. Can't say that I love clowns, but if you're into it, the game is now available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, and PC. Last on the list, we have Kameru, a Frog Refuge, a total contradictory direction towards a game providing a casual, cozy, and relaxing farming simulator experience, whereby players will foster a sanctuary of frogs and restore the biodiversity of the wetlands in Kameru. This game is now available on Nintendo Switch and PC. As for the free games for this week, on the Epic Games Store, Marvel's Midnight Suns is a tactical turn-based strategy RPG like XCOM without the grids, and instead you get cards. Regardless, it is yours to claim by or before 13th of June. And with that marks the end of this week's episode of Game Things. Consider giving this video a like if you find it helpful, subscribe and click on the bell so that you will receive notifications whenever we have a new upload here on YouTube.